Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our LifeWave call on Thursday. We're so happy to have everyone here. Welcome to our visitors and our brand partners. We really are just so very, very excited to have everyone on the call. Tonight, we're going to do a short product introduction, and then Trish is going to introduce us to the business opportunity after some wonderful testimonies, which is often our most favorite part of the call. So let's get started.
Sorry about that. I'm still busy here. Mandy, can we maybe ask you to give your testimony in the meantime while I'm busy here in the
Yes, of course.
background?
So I was introduced to LifeWave exactly 12 months ago. So I've been patching for a year. I was diagnosed in 2016, eventually after a long number of years of undiagnosed ME, which has symptoms like hectic chronic fatigue, insomnia, terrible joint pain, and brain fog, and was eventually diagnosed in 2016. Um, I had really got to the place where I had managed my symptoms. I became a really good symptom manager with a lot of medication. And not many people knew what I was going through because I didn't like to share it. It was something that I just coped with and managed with the pain medication and other medication. So Trish is my insurance broker, and she would often say to me, "You need to start patching." But I'm by nature quite a skeptical person, so I had a look at all the clinical trials and uh, testimonies and things like that over a period of about 8 months. In 2024, they found a lump in my breast, and at the same time was going into menopause. So there was just a lot going on, and it really was just the right time for me to try something new. I thought I've got to try a patch. It might as well be the patch that isn't putting stuff into my body, and I'm just incredibly grateful for that. I now live pain free. I have a lot of energy. I I was just so excited to hear your testimony, Annalise, because I know what it's like not to be able to exercise. I've now been able to exercise again. I swim every day. I have a personal trainer, and really to put it in my child's words, they've got their mom back. And so along with that, I found the most wonderful community of people with incredible hearts. And just really, I'm so grateful. I could talk for days and days on the other wonderful things that have happened to my body. So um, yeah, I'm just incredibly grateful. And it's always wonderful to hear your testimonies like yours, Annalise, because you know what it's like when you can start moving. You just feel so much better. So yeah, so that's my story. Are we ready to listen to the video, Amanda? Great.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light that can promote a general state of health and healthy activity unique to each LifeWave patch. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared energy emitted from the body is reflected back into the body and then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative energy and enhances your ability to live well without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals. To find out more, contact your distributor. LifeWave. Live long. Live well. Light.
So this is one of our favorite questions to ask, and that is, have you been patched? Patching elevates, activates, and regenerates your body. And so it's always just so exciting to ask people that question, because we know that it is life-changing. And we cannot talk about LifeWave without talking about our CEO and inventor of X39, David Schmidt. He has over 200 patents, global patents, to his name. He is not a doctor. He's a scientist and inventor with a special passion for age reversing and wellness. In 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research, along with a lot of the world. And we are so grateful for that. The patent for X39 took a long 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So huge commitment from him. And we are just so incredibly grateful for that commitment and that determination. So patented technology is something very, very powerful. What it means is that there is no me too product on the market. So if people talk about vitamins, that someone can say, oh yeah, no, I know that vitamin, I try this. There is no comparative product on the market, which is so incredible. The patents specifically is actually a very interesting document to read. But basically what it says is that as a result of elevating the copper peptide, including activation of the stem cells, we see improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. So that's an incredible thing. And we can see, those of us that patch know that we've experienced some or all of those results. So how does X39 work? So it is a proprietary form of phototherapy. So we understand a basic phototherapy as the sun hitting our skin doesn't impart vitamin D, but by the sun hitting our skin, it elevates vitamin D in our bodies. So it's patented nanocrystal technology, and how I imagine it is like a disco ball. A light comes to the disco ball from one direction and then goes all over in different directions. And that's really what it does. The little white patch is tiny nano mirrors, if you want to call it that, and they then reflect back the light back into your body. So there is no drugs, chemicals, stimulants, nothing that enters your body. It reflects light to activate various chemical processes and bioprocesses in your body, which is incredible. Those of us that have been on a lot of medication know the value of not having more medication going into our body. It's non-transdermal, so nothing goes from the patch to your skin, and it's obviously non-invasive because you've got nothing going into your body. So what are the benefits of X39? And it's an incredible thing when you start to see some of these benefits. Some of us have it sooner, some of us have it later. Sometimes one of these benefits will just you'll suddenly realize, oh gosh, I've got more energy. And so there's optimum health and wellness. There's improved exercise performance, which at 56 years old is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Improvements in strength, improvements in stamina. I was skipping the one day, and the 1 week I could only skip 10 times because now I'm also carrying a lot of weight. The next week, through doing nothing else, I could all of a sudden skip 30 times. So that's the stamina that you experience, healthy energy flow, and there's no drugs or stimulants, like I said. So basically, it's just a total, complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being, which is incredible. So what are the long-term results that we see? This is at info.com, is an incredible website, full of information, case studies, clinical trials, all kinds of wonderful things. So within the first few days, it's been proven that 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within a couple of weeks, your brain becomes more balanced, collagen increases, and within 6 months, it's been shown that the heart actually reverses in age. And one of the most powerful things, I mean, anti-aging would be good enough, but David Schmidt says that it's actually age reversing, and it's been proven through various trials that people have actually, their hearts have reversed in age, which is incredible. We need to just say here that LifeWave is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical conditions. So really just that disclaimer, if you are under a doctor, you need to stay under the doctor. The patches don't interact with any of your medications, so don't stop your medication. This is really just a wellness product that your body begins to activate the way that it was created to. So how do you wear X39? Very simply. You wear it 12 hours on, which then elevates, activates, and regenerates your body, and 12 hours off, which gives your body time to rest, repair, and rejuvenate. So very simply, you can put it on the back of your neck, under your belly button. If you have a point of pain, you can put it on the point of pain, but it really just really simple. 7 o'clock you put it on, 7 o'clock you take it off, or however it works around your schedule. For me, I give my kids their vitamins at 7 o'clock, so it just works for me, because otherwise, I might forget. So that's so you work it around your schedule, but 12 hours on and 12 hours off is the way that you wear it. So like I said before, this is at info.com. If you want to take a screen grab of that or write it down, it's an incredible website. A lot of, like I say, the clinical trials and amazing amount of information that is there. So that's really the first place that you go. The testimonies, like I said earlier, are life-changing. They're emotional. And once again, LifeWave is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. The patches are a general wellness device. It is not a drug or a pharmaceutical treatment. And we need to have realistic expectations. We've obviously, over many years, our bodies have taken a little bit of a knock. So we need to have realistic expectations about what the pace at which the patches will have an effect. And your body and its history is unique. So your results may differ you may get better results, or it may take longer for you to get the results. You will experience results, but we do need to be patient with our bodies while they heal. So now I'm not sure if there is anyone that would like to share their testimony. I know there are some very powerful testimonies here.
Mandi, I'm just going to interfere here because I love one part of your story, and the new people probably haven't heard that. Won't you please tell the people how your life used to be when you went out for a trip and you came back home, and how things are different now? I know it's maybe a bit embarrassing, but it's such an awesome story. I think it's so life-changing.
I think the embarrassing part is when you wet yourself. But so for me, the exciting thing was I had quite a traumatic birth with my daughter, and struggled for many years with incontinence, and eventually just gave up because I was pushed from pillar to post. And I think it was about 6 months into patching. So what would happen is, everyone knew when mom arrived home, you just step aside, and she dashes to the toilet, and she may or may not make it. But that was kind of how everything worked, or, if I was in the car, they'd quickly open the door so that I could run in. Anyway, the one day I was busy and quite distracted, and I came in and I went to the kitchen and suddenly realized, hang on a minute, I haven't dashed to the toilet. And from there, it's just improved. And that's not why I started patching. It really was not even, I think we get so used to living with things, we adapt our lives around these things that we've got going on in our bodies. But when that happens, and it might have even been a little bit longer than 6 months, I can't actually remember, but it was definitely wasn't in the early days. And, for the fact that I've persisted, I mean, I will never go back. I never want to go back to what my life was like prior to that. But I'm just so grateful that there's that improvement. The other improvement, which I haven't told many people about, is my eyes were every time I had my eye test, I've got quite bad astigmatism. So every time I had my eyes tested, they were getting worse and worse. And I had my eyes tested about 2 weeks ago, and they have not, in 2 years, they've not gotten any worse. So that for me is a huge one, because I know the next time I go, there's going to be improvement. So I'm incredibly grateful for that as well.
Thank you so much. And I'd love for Annelies to tell us what she told us earlier on, because you spoke about that, but it was before we did the recording. So
before we did the recording,
Annelies.
yes, it's wonderful to hear that.
Okay, I was just telling that I started patching 2.5 months ago. And just last week, I started doing exercises in the pool again. While for at least 2 years now, I didn't have the energy or the strength to do that. And so I still take it very slowly, like 15 minutes, and only every second day. But I'm very excited about that. I can feel in my joints and my muscles that I'm doing something I haven't done in a long time, but that's a good Aina to have. And it's getting better. It's getting better already. So yeah, I'm just very excited about that.
Wonderful. Oh, so happy for you. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Kayla, you've got an awesome testimony. Don't know who else is on the call.
I'm just sitting here all quietly waiting my turn, because I'm always the first one to put up my hand and nobody else ever gets a chance. Anyway, so hello everybody, I'm Kayla. I'm from Durban, South Africa, where Mandi is, and Trish and all the other beautiful people. But anyways, so I'm in seventh heaven. I'm about to enter my 7th month of patching. Due to this beautiful lady, Mandi, that's sitting here and co-hosting with Trish. Thank you so much, Mandi. And my life has never, ever been the same again. So for those of you who don't know, before I say, Mandi, I don't think you know, but I've got a friend who started patching, and she actually bought patches for her husband who's got dementia. Her name's Marty, and she had breast cancer twice and went in remission. And the second time they did a double mastectomy, and then she got pancreas cancer. And she said that she's not going to opt for chemo and radiation again, because it was the chemo that almost killed her, not the cancer. So she started using cannabis, and it was the end of January. It was 10 years that she's been cancer-free. Can you believe it? Because that's usually fatal. But in this whole process of all these years of chemo, her ears stopped producing earwax. So she's been wearing cotton with Vaseline in her ears to keep her ears from getting infections. And, she kept on getting earache and whatever. So 3 weeks into patching, she phoned me and she said, Kayla, you won't believe it. I've got earwax in my ears again. Something that we take for granted, and that's something small to other people, or people think it's small, but it's absolutely amazing. And anyway, so I come from major lower back pain, and arthritis set in. And February 2024, I had neck surgery. It took triple the amount of time it would usually take normal people to heal. And I couldn't understand why it took me like 10 weeks instead of 2 to 3. And in November 2024, I had major lower back surgery, disc replacements, fusions, bone grafts, and stabilizers. And up until August last year, I was still wearing my brace. Ask Mandi, I was like an 80-year-old plus that. So yeah, so Mandy nagged me, come and patch, come and patch. I said, Mans, my hair's been falling out from Sinalef, Epileptin, Lyrica, Tramadol, all those hectic drugs. My digestive system is non-existent. You know, my tummy was getting ulcers and whatever because of all these hectic drugs. And she said, just come. So I went. So, Mans, I think it was 2 days later, I started sleeping through. Now, bearing in mind, I hadn't slept through for, I don't know, 8 to 10 years. Every time there was a sound with dog barking or whatever, I was up, mostly because of the pain, but yeah. And I also started getting very dry patches around my eyebrows, on my eyelids, in and around my ears. I think it's all to do with the medication that I was on. Started getting a very weird twitch in my head. Um, and I had terrible joint pains, as in when I held my phone and I tried to open my fingers got stuck, my wrists, my elbows, it was insane. So, yeah, so 2 days after I started patching, I started sleeping right through. And it's literally not my alarm that wakes me up in the mornings anymore. It's me having to run to the loo because I haven't gotten up during the night to go to the toilet. And yeah, I think it was 2 weeks later, I dropped my back brace. So I didn't have people ask me what was wrong with me anymore. And I mean, wearing a brace from November until August, it was insane. And yeah, the pains in my joints went. The dry skin went. Also, I call it my granny hands. My hands are starting to get smoother. My skin is starting to get tighter. I patch my husband with my patches, and the hair on his bald spot has started growing. So that's wonderful because he wants to shave his hair and look like an escaped convict. And I said, no, we can't do that. So now he's patching, and the hair's starting to grow back on the back of his head. My children have had falls where they sprained their ankles and their knees, and then I do my magic with the ice wave patches, which are phenomenal. And yeah, so I'm just paying it forward. I'm just sharing the good news with everybody, and I will never stop patching, ever, ever, ever stop patching. It's just phenomenal. So thank you, Mandy, for
Amazing.
changing my life.
Amazing. Thank you, David. Is there anyone else before Trish shares on the business side of things? Anybody else?
I think Trish can go on.
Trish,
Over
we'll
to
hand
me.
over to you.
Mandy, I can't believe you've been patching for a year. I can't believe it. When you said a year earlier on, I thought, no, I'm sure you're wrong. And then, yeah, end of January, you started a year
7th
ago.
of February. 7th of
Was
February.
it 7th of February? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Trish, and as you've heard from Mandy, we are part of the most incredible community, which is LifeWave, and it's just so wonderful to be able to share the business opportunity with you tonight. And just to give you a short background as to how long I've been patching and why I started patching. I've been patching for 21 months now, so it's getting close to 2 years. And when I joined LifeWave, when I signed up, it wasn't because of any chronic condition. Praise God, I've never had any of these awful conditions that I'm hearing about through LifeWave. I just can't believe how people live with these conditions, and thank goodness for LifeWave. So my attraction to LifeWave was the fact of earning a second income and being in South Africa, earning it in US dollars. The other thing that attracted me was that it was age reversal. Now, I have a daughter and granddaughters who live in Canada, and I try and visit them at least once a year and maybe every second year. And I want to be able to still fly to Canada, which is a long way away. It takes you 2 days to get there when I'm 80 years old. And I still want to be able to swim with my granddaughters when I'm 80 years old. I don't want to become an old lady. And you know the picture you have in your mind of an old granny. I don't want to be that person. I want to still be active. So that is the main reason why I started patching. And so with my testimony, I don't have major, obviously, because I didn't have any chronic conditions, but more and more I am noticing little things that are changing. Obviously, my sleep improved, brain fog cleared, energy improved, skeletal strength improved. All those things that they say the patches will do have definitely happened. But what I've also noticed, and I've never shared this before, which is quite weird, I noticed things starting to happen let's call it negatively, that has never happened before. Like I was getting eczema patches on my skin. I've never had that before. I was getting extra little, like tiny little growths growing on my skin, which you get as you get older. But I just persisted with the patching, spoke to people, maybe started using a different patch, and all those things are starting to disappear. Like where I had these little growths, the skin is now flat. I mean, it's amazing. So it just shows you what the patches are doing in my body, dealing with all different things that are, that are suddenly becoming noticeable to me. And even something as, it's not actually small, it's quite a big thing. I'm a platelet donor. And I don't know if any of you know, you sit with the needle in your arm for about an hour and a half, and they do so many cycles. And it used to be such a slow process. And I used to have to squeeze the thing in my hand so hard to get the. Now it's the easiest process in the world. And I know it's because of X39. My blood just flows. I don't have to hardly squeeze. It goes so quickly. So it's just all these little things. Oh, and when you do the platelets, they take your blood pressure every time. And my blood pressure is just amazing. It has stabilized at like 130/80. So all these things just leading to the general feeling of health and wellness. And I'm just so grateful. And apart from that, because I'm going to share on the business side, when I came in and brought in my first few brand partners, I think I was into my 4th month of patching. And I haven't had to pay for my own patches since then. And I'm really not one of those ultra successful brand partners because I have a full-time business that takes up a lot of my time. So I do LifeWay very low key, but it shows you that the potential is there, not to only earn the income for yourself, but also to earn the money to pay for your patches, which makes it just so worthwhile. So on that note, let's get going, Amanda. Thank you.
I've got 2 comments, please, if you don't mind, Trish. As you were talking, I was just thinking how we, as the older people who've been in this for a while, and I listened to how you shared now, we get so used to fantastic results that we make it as if it's small, like you were now saying, obviously, like we obviously have the sleep and the energy and the, better skin. It's like, well, we just expect that's how it is. But for people who start, it's not normal to sleep. It's not normal to have energy. It's not normal to have a beautiful skin. And I mean, that was one of the things that happened with me as well. I obviously didn't start patching for my skin. But, if I look at my skin and people comment on that, if that's what's happening on the outside, what is happening on the inside? But we are so used to these things that it's like, everybody just has that. And it's, people don't always realize how fantastic that is. It's just awesome.
True.
I'm going to start the recording, but while we're doing the screen sharing, won't you please tell them about what you told us, what happened yesterday with you and with your fingers? Because that was not on the recording. Yes. I'd love to have that recording. So while you're telling that, I'll get the rest of the screen sharing up again. Okay.
So last night, I'm not the chef in the house, my husband is, but I decided I wanted to have a fried egg with my dinner, and he'd had the vegetables on one of the gas plates. And this plate in particular, the little thing that you put the pot on, it often moves. And not even thinking, I put both my fingers onto that plate that he had just taken the vegetables off. So a boiling hot plate. And I burnt these 2 fingers. It was so sore. I actually screamed in frustration because I hate burning myself, because normally I have to sit with my fingers in ice water. I just hate the feeling. Anyway, so I quickly got onto my WhatsApp calls to find out what's the best way to patch. And I put an Ice Wave, the brown one there. I tested with the white one and eventually put it there. And then a little bit later, I put in the Aeon one there. And honestly, the pain just disappeared. It really did. I had no ice water that I had to hold on to. And if my fingers now, I mean, you could look at this. Those are the fingers. I'm touching them. No pain, no tenderness, nothing. And I think that's quite a mind-blowing. Just on a humorous note, the one thing, and I've shared this before, the negative thing about patching is that my nails grow too quickly. So I have gel nails, so the regrowth at the back appears far too quickly because my nails grow so fast. So that's the one thing. So it costs a little bit more money because you have to do it more often. Right. That's just a little funny thing.
Thank you, Trish.
Okay, so, so many people, when they hear LifeWave, they hear about these amazing patches, these miraculous results that we are hearing. People are very skeptical, but when you turn around and tell them that LifeWave has been going for 21 years, and it's in over 75 countries, we realize that it's a company that has huge credibility, and we certainly don't have to doubt becoming involved in it or being afraid to be involved in it. So the company has just grown and grown and grown. And we'll just go back, Amanda.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay, 2021, the company was doing $20 million turnover, which is not too shabby. But you'll notice in 2022, it skyrocketed to $320 million. Now, that is because Steve and Gina Merritt joined LifeWave, and they started this as a team. They are based in the US, and they are the head of the bigger team. This is a team. And they just introduced the system that is duplicatable and that we all follow. And as a result of the system, the results just exploded. And this is a team, became the biggest team with the biggest production in the whole of the company. So that's really huge. And then you can see we've just grown and grown and grown. We don't have the results yet for 2025, but it was to get to $1 billion turnover, and I'm sure we even exceeded that. So LifeWave has been ranked for 2 years in a row now, the #1 in momentum. And that means the fastest growing company in the Direct Selling Association. If you go on to the website businessforhome.org, you will see all the companies that are listed there, and LifeWave is at the top of the list out of over 700 countries for the fastest growth in over 2 years. And you know what the exciting thing is that which said on that slide, the commission payout to the brand partners is 60%. Now, that is unheard of in a direct selling company, but that is the generosity of David Schmidt. And this man who started LifeWave just keeps winning these incredible awards. So the company won the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year in 2025, and it's on the Biotech Breakthrough Awards program. And there are thousands of nominations, but LifeWave won it for that stem cell innovation, which is absolutely huge. And how much credibility does that give to LifeWave and to David Schmidt and his inventions? So we like to ask ourselves, what's important in your life? And I know for me, and I think for everyone else on the call, it's our family time, to have time to spend with our family, to have security, be it financial security, to travel more. We would love to travel and explore our own beautiful country, plus the other countries in the world. And of course, better health. Without your health, none of the other is even worthwhile, and less debt. And for me, coming into LifeWave, and the commission I have earned, I've been able to pay off all my debt. I've been able to pay for my ticket this year to see my daughter in Canada, so that's the travel. As I shared with you, my overall general health has improved. And of course, all that leads to more family time. So in this incredible company, how can you become a customer? So there are 3 types of customer accounts that you can become a part of. The first one, which I wouldn't recommend anybody becomes a part of, because it's a retail customer where you're going to pay the retail price. Who would want to pay the full price for the sleeve of 30 patches when you could get it at a 30% discount? But if someone says, no, I don't want to sign up on a monthly subscription, I'm happy to pay that price, then that is fine. They can sign up as a retail customer. But then for somebody else who really wants to give it a go, you can sign up as a preferred customer, and with that you get 30% discount on your X39 and the other sleeves, and with it you sign up on a monthly subscription. So every month your sleeves arrive and your account is debited. There is a 90 money 90-day money-back guarantee on the products. And the reason why it's 90 days is because David Schmidt has advised that 3 months is the optimal, and it should be the minimal time that we give the patches a try. So sign up as a preferred customer, or even better, a preferred customer plus program. You still get the 30% off, but at the end of every month, you get a sample pack of 10 supplementary patches with each subscription order that you get. On the preferred customer, you get that same sample pack of supplementary patches at the end of every 3rd month that you order. And then something new with this preferred customer plus program, if you sign up on that level, you bring 2 other customers and you both keep active. You, as the person who brought them in, will get $100 credit, not in rands or in dollars, but towards your patches. So that is really exciting. As long as you all keep ordering and you keep active, you will then be able to buy your own patches with that credit that is given to you. And then another way to be a customer is to become a brand partner. We also have the discount on the sleeves, depending on how many sleeves you buy. And this is if you want to become more involved in the business and start earning from the business. But we will share a bit more about that later in a bit more detail. Okay, Amanda's going to open the floor now to any questions that you might have on what we have shared to date. Anybody got a question? Just put your hand up.
Sorry, I just wanna stop the. I'm going to stop the recording, and then afterwards we'll go back, put the recording on again. So while we have the recording off, you can ask any questions and it won't be recorded. Right, we're starting the recording again. Thank you, Trish. Let me just start the sharing again, and you can continue with the business.
Okay. Amanda, the last time when we shared and you said it didn't record, it didn't come up and say recording in process and we click OK, and it hasn't done that again. Is that the reason? Are you sure it's recording?
I just forgot to press the resume button last time.
Okay, perfect. Are we talking to the slide or are we moving on? I think we move on from the slide for now, I think. Do we?
There you go. Yes.
Okay. So opportunity happens by creating solutions. And what are the current problems to solve? The market is oversaturated with illegitimate products. Now, when we talk about illegitimate products, we talk about Amazon, Takealot, all your online selling websites. There are a lot of fake products out there. But with LifeWave, the solution is the product is patented. And we have another 14 years on that X39 patent. So nobody can copy it. So please, if you see LifeWave patches being advertised online, they are fake. They will look very cheap. Please don't be tempted. And don't let anyone else you know be tempted, or let anyone say to you, oh, I can get them so much cheaper from Amazon. They are not the original product because LifeWave is only sold through brand partners. So what else are the current problems to solve? Financial struggles and poor health and wellness. And LifeWave offers solutions to that as well, where we have a duplicable business model plus optimum health and wellness. And I think that is David Schmidt's vision, is to enable people to be able to earn an income and to have optimum health and wellness, to enjoy that income that they earn. So let's look at the difference between a conventional business and a LifeWave business. Conventional business, if you decide, oh, I'm going to start my own business, there is a high startup cost. With LifeWave, the startup cost is so low, it can be as low as, if you're going to work with the business, as low as, and I'm talking in rands, 1,800 Rand right now. Where can you start a business for that low startup cost? A conventional business is high risk. There's no proven results for you. You are taking a risk. You're investing that money and you're taking a risk. With LifeWave, you have a 30-day risk-free trial. If it's not for you, you can get your money back after 30 days. I mean, how comforting is that to know that? In a conventional business, you work long hours, you're working for yourself on your own, and you're wanting this business to succeed, so you put in those long, long hours. With LifeWave, you make your own schedule. In the duplicatable business that we have, you're not working on your own, you're working with a team, you're working with an upline, but you can decide how many hours a day you want to spend on your LifeWave business. And conventional business, it's trial and error. Is it going to work? Is the market going to take to my new business? But LifeWave has, as I shared earlier, a 20-plus year track record. Can't go wrong with that. So all in all with LifeWave, there are 9 ways to earn. As a customer, there are 3 ways to earn, and you can start earning immediately with customers. And with brand partners, there are 6 additional ways to earn, but you have to be active as a brand partner to earn. And to be active means you have to be buying a sleeve of patches every month. So LifeWave also works on the compensation plan with a binary bonus. What does binary mean? That just means 2 legs, 2 teams. So you start with yourself, you all know 4 friends, 4 family members, you bring them in, and as you bring them in, you put one on the right, one on the left, next one on the right, next one on the left, so you have a balanced business, so your one leg doesn't get ultra strong and the other one is left behind. And then under the binary system, we have binary bonus earnings. Now you'll see it starts at a paid rank of a 3-star manager, where you could earn up to $1,500 a week. And that goes right up to the 3-star presidential of earning $25,000 a week. I mean, that sounds like you can't even wrap your head around that kind of money. But yes, the potential is there for each and every one of us. And this is something new that's come in with the new compensation plan. And I just want to share with this new business launch bonus. I was listening to David Schmidt and the CEO Meredith being interviewed by the Direct Selling Association. And Meredith said that with this new business launch bonus, they are paying more than 60%, they're paying 60% more people in their first 90 days than they used to before this launch bonus was introduced. So there again, the new compensation plan is to get new brand partners earning as quickly as possible. So your 48-hour goal to become a 1-star manager, you put one on the right and one on the left. As I said, that's your binary. On the advanced plan, I'm giving you 300 personal volume and a 2-sleeve subscription, and you will earn $25 per week for 8 weeks, plus the week that you join, giving it 9 weeks. Now that's aside from anything else that you earn. That is just to launch you and to get you going as fast as possible. Then the next week goal, so your first week, is to become a 2-star manager, where you have 2 on your left, 2 on your right on your binary. Same thing, advanced, 300 PV, 2-sleeve subscription, and you'll earn $50 per week for those 8 weeks, plus the week you sign up on. So that is such an encouragement, and we have seen it. Yolandi, who's part of Amanda's team, good golly, she made 2-star manager so quickly by just bringing in the people. So we are really seeing it happen out there. And then another way to earn is your mentor matching bonus. You will see that this only starts from a rank of first 1-star director, and it can pay up to $20,000 per person every level. Now, what that means is you have 6 generations, and depending on the generation and depending on what rank you're at, you earn a percentage of the people underneath you in the lower generations. Where this is very exciting in this new compensation plan is that if you sign up somebody, they're your generation 1, they sign up someone, they sign up, and that person becomes your generation 5, for argument's sake. And suddenly those people in between aren't active anymore, but your generation 5 is active. The generations become compressed, and despite the others not being active, you will still earn the percentage, depending on your rank, from that generation 5. So that is very, very exciting, and that they call that compression. So as I said earlier with Steve and Gina Merritt, the system that they have brought in, it allows you to duplicate your efforts. So it's not you on your own. You bring in people who bring in people who bring in people, and your business just grows and grows and grows. So that is duplicating your efforts, and the rewards, as you have seen, can be absolutely mind-blowing. So we go back to the slide. So now you've decided, I don't just want to be a customer anymore. I want to actually use the patches, but I also want to earn an income. So there are various levels you can come in at. The first one being core, where you'll get 3 sleeves of X39. So that's 3 months supply of X39 at $295 plus VAT, plus your delivery fee. That reduces the price to $98.33 per sleeve. You could also mix and match. You could take 2 sleeves of X39 and you could take 2 sleeves of one of the supplementary patches, for example, the Aeon, which we use for inflammation, which works very well for X39. And then you decide, no, I think I would like to get more sleeves. My family's bigger. I want to patch more people. You can choose the advanced plan, $535. 6 sleeves at X39, mix and match if you want, and the price per sleeve reduces to $89. Then this next plan is a new plan that they introduced, which is just a bit up from the advanced, called Advanced Plus, and that gives you 11 sleeves. And wow, that is a lot of sleeves to have. I mean, can you imagine being able to, what's nice about that is that if you come across someone who needs the sleeves urgently, they don't want to wait. You can give them your sleeve, a sleeve of patches, and they can return it to you when their sleeves arrive. So you get 11 sleeves, $975, and the sleeve price reduces to $88 per sleeve. And then the top plan is the premium plan. And this is usually people like pharmacies who have clinics in their pharmacy, chiropractors, physios. They want to actually sell the patches to their patients there and then. They come in on the premium plan. It's $1,750, and they get 20 sleeves of X39. The price reduces to $87 per sleeve, and it also keeps them active for 3 months, which is great. And you'll learn more about that, why it's good to be active, because when you're active, you earn your income. So this is at info.com, is the website Mandy was talking about. And then we also have this is at team.com. This is basically your business model, your business manual. You go onto that website and all the training is there. Downloads are there, many downloads. There's just so much information there. They even recommend a book of the month, every month, a business book to help you in your growth. There's just so much there. And you know what is so incredible is that it costs us nothing to have all this information, all this training at our fingertips without having to pay an additional any business money that you would if you were trying to start your own business or even becoming part of a franchise. So I think the time is now to make your move. Are you serious about your dream? Do you have a dream? Has your dream died because you've been so ill, because you've been struggling so much financially? Now is the time to make that move, because there is hope for your future, and not only your financial future, but your general wellness future as well. And with the two hand in hand, the sky's the limit. And that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Trish. That was so exciting and wonderful. The opportunities are there's just so many opportunities, and it's just so awesome always to hear them over again. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending. We're just so grateful. We hope that you are inspired and encouraged. And if you have not signed up, chat to the person who invited you, and they will help you get signed up and get going. So I think we're done. I don't think there's any more questions or anything like that. But yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful evening, everyone. And thank you very, very much for attending the call.
Awesome. Thanks, man.